Once you're in these cars, they're incredibly roomy, says me as I try to struggle in. Anyway, we're in. So, what do we got in here? Hopefully the light will be good enough. So, we've obviously got our vents on each side, and those foam pieces are seals under there, but you've got to take the dash out, and I haven't done it. We might put the key in first. So, ignition down under steering column. The key goes in long ear down, and I had this car freighted down from Queensland by Seaver. Whilst they did a good job, the only issue was somebody has tried to shove the key in the lock that way, and they damaged the very first pin in the ignition barrel. So when I went down to pick it up, because I actually caught the train down to Sydney and I drove this home, might add that's the first time I'd ever driven a 2CV of any sort, there were 3 of us on board. I had to hotwire the car. Well, it's actually quite easy. Sorry, Ed, you stay there. So you put the key in that way, and what we did anyway to fix it is we actually just popped that first damaged pin out. So now the ignition works perfectly. But where it has a problem, and there it is, the ignition light's on, where it has a problem is that the spring to return the key from the start position is very, very weak. It's very easy to inadvertently leave it in start or click it back to there when you're shutting it down. That's why I bought the other ignition lock, but as I said, I prefer this one. So anyway, let's go back over this side. So the key's in there. We'll get to that in a minute. So we've had a cigarette lighter adapter thing put in there so that I've got power, and there is a little push-pull switch just under the dash which turns that on and off. I run a little GPS type speedo. There's the bracket for it just there. That's only clipped on. It's not attached in any firm way. And that's just a little GPS speedo that if I want it, I can use it, because the speedo is actually in miles per hour, and what you're looking at it the same angle I look at it. What you can't see is that above those miles per hour indications are kilometres per hour, but I can't see them when I'm driving. Absolutely impossible. So, I'm used to converting. We still drove in miles an hour when I got my licence back in 1974, so I have no issue with it. I can, just around town, but if I'm going on a longer trip or something, I quite often will put the digital speedo on, just so that I've got a bit more accurate one. So up the top here, we've got, first of all, the first button of these 3. Now, don't forget, this is still pretty much set up for left-hand drive, so that's actually a blinker warning. So the first button of 3 is the test button, which just tests that the system for, I'll turn the ignition on. So you've got your ignition light there, and you'll find the next one will now come on. So that's a test to say that the brake fluid level warning light is working. That's all that does. Your next one is your hazard lights. Now, it's weird. So not only does your blinker flash, but the third of your little warning lights also flashes when you've got them on. The next one is your 2-speed wipers. Yes, I know, I said 2-speed, because they have 2 speeds, on and off, going or not going, and that's it. So down for on, up for off, simple as that. Ashtray, blinkers on this side, non-cancelling, of course, typically Citroen. The blinkers, I have changed a couple of the bits inside. I bought a new blinker unit from a 2CV, but this is all black plastic. So all I did is I took the bit out of it that I needed. This side is your lights control, and of course your horn, your little beepy horn. Handbrake, washer pedal button down there, and that's about it in here. So what I'll do, I've got the bonnet up. I'll start her up. It hasn't been started for quite a while. Excuse me while I just get in a better position. These are a bit notorious. Oh, your choke is down this side. It should have a light in it. It doesn't. To a warning light show that it's on. So So as I said, she can be a bit... as it pumps fuel up. Oh, that's going a bit longer than it normally does. And there it goes. Choke in a bit. Out of gear. Yeah, we're right. Yeah, it's that, even with that one-way valve, if you use it every day, you don't have an issue. She just fires straight up. But it, you know, I haven't used it for a couple of months, so then the fuel bleeds back. We'll get out and have a look at that engine in a sec. Just here, this is the control for cold or across to hot. I had to reverse these two dots because they were the wrong side for a right-hand drive car, so they're little stick-on dots. And then you've got a little control under here. Down sends that hot air into the car, pull it up, and it sends it up through the vent. There is a little, you've got a little clip earth line there. That was, I think it's partially to do now with the cigarette lighter adapter thing, but there was a radio under here. Didn't work. Couldn't really hear it anyway, so I never used it. What else have we got? We'll get back out and have a look. So there she is, purring away nicely. It's still on a bit of choke. Give it a warm up. Yeah, she's a good little beastie. I'm going to take it out, as I said this morning. We'll have a look in the, we haven't looked in the back seat. It'll try to get in again. So there's your back seat. You've got lap belts here. As you probably know, there's a bit of head hair on the seat, sorry about that. As you probably know, this folds forward. It also, you can lift the back out. You can do an amazing amount with this. My seat's almost all the way back, so is the passenger seat. I usually line them up. So it's a bit tight in there. Ed, stay there. But otherwise, you know, it's fine. Anyway, come on, out, Ed. Watch out, Ed. That's how easy the doors close. Just let them drop. Hang on, I'll just push that choke in. Here it goes, that's a bit better. So she's idling away nicely there. Obviously being air cooled, they warm up quickly. That's your windscreen washer fluid. She pumps up, squirts a bit unevenly. I've replaced the fuel sender unit because a little wire broke. It's a flat piece of copper and it broke, but John's soldered it together, so I've still got that one as a backup. Apart from that, I can't think of anything else. This was slightly shorter than yesterday's video, but only by a couple of minutes. So we might give it a wind it up there. I finished off yesterday, and I'll say it again now so that you can hear it. Pretty much my intention is, if you buy the car, I'm happy to have it. Happy for you to buy it. If you don't buy the car, I'm going to sit on it. Look, it's a fun little car. I just don't use it enough at the moment, and part of that problem is it's got New South Wales Historic Rego on it, which is really easy to use. It's a logbook. I'll fill it out this morning, but for some reason in my head it prevents me using it. Don't know what it is. It's purely psychological. I have no idea. So look, we'll see what happens. Now, actually talking about that, in terms of transport, most of the companies, from what I understand, will transport the car, but they won't transport all the bits and pieces inside. Anyway, we'll cross that bridge if and when we come to it. Okay, I'll wind it up here. I'll send you this off. As I said, it'll be in little groups, so hopefully you'll see it all. So, the exhaust on mine is the standard exhaust, which actually exits just there below the passenger door. So, passenger rear door. Okay. Thanks for that, Doug. See ya.